Hello, it's Elysha. Welcome back. And today I am talking about the exclusivity in the fashion world, particularly if you are over 40, overweight, or underpaid. Now, when I started in the fashion industry, I was in my mid-20s, so I wasn't over 40 and I wasn't overweight, but I was definitely underpaid and I was made to feel like I didn't belong. Now, I worked for a lot of national women's mainstream magazines, so it wasn't Vogue, it wasn't Harper's Bazaar, it wasn't Elle. These were the magazines that you would see while you're waiting in line at the grocery store. So the way that it worked is they'd book me on a shoot and it was my job to get all the clothes for whatever story we were doing. So if we were doing leather jackets, it'd be up to me to get all the leather jackets that they wanted to feature. Now, whatever leather jackets go in the magazine, they get publicity. So I would borrow the leather jackets from showrooms and then the showrooms would loan me the leather jacket in exchange for the publicity in the magazine. So the thing is this, is that I'd get these jobs and it was always so stressful because the showrooms, they would never return my calls. So I'd get this list. Okay, so there was this book, it was called Le Book, and it listed all of the fashion showrooms in New York. So I'd have this book and I'd go through the list and then I'd call each one. I'd find the brands that were relevant. Now, the brands that I was choosing, they were mall stores, okay? So they were mainstream stores. It wasn't like I was calling Versace, you know, for this grocery store checkout line magazine. I was calling stores that would be, or brands that would be appropriate, and I had their numbers, I had the contact, and I'd contact them, and they never called me back. So it would put a lot of pressure on me because I needed to get the leather jackets, but nobody is calling me back. And usually they just ignored me, but once in a while, one person would confess and they would say, "You're just not a good fit for our brand." So that's what they would tell me, meaning that the publication that I was working for wasn't a good fit for their brand. And what I heard was I wasn't luxury enough. I wasn't expensive enough. I wasn't bespoke enough. So yes, I took that rejection and I made it personal. And this is my introduction to the fashion industry, basically telling me that I wasn't the right fit for their brand. Now, of course, I ended up getting all the leather jackets ultimately, and then the shoots were always a success, but it was a struggle and it was stressful dealing with all these showrooms that were basically ignoring me. As time went on, I continued working on shoots, and then the economy collapsed in '08, and then things started to shift a little bit. There was more inclusivity, meaning that sales were down, and now these stores, these brands, they were ready to be featured in these women's mainstream magazines. So the people that were ignoring me before were now sending me garment bags of leather jackets or cream-colored cashmere sweaters or flirty floral dresses. Whatever the story that I was styling, they were all responding at this point. So this idea where these mainstream brands were trying to create an aura of exclusivity, because remember, I was contacting mall stores to be featured. I wasn't contacting the high-end designers, but it was these mall stores that wanted the aura of exclusivity. That was the name of the game in the fashion industry. You had to be exclusive if you wanted to be considered important. But that shifted with the economy when the economy collapsed, and there was definitely some more inclusivity that was going on. Nowadays, I don't really do editorial magazines anymore, so I don't deal with the showrooms, but like I said, it did lighten up and it did get less stressful in more recent times. Nowadays, I usually work on commercials or photo shoots where I have to shop. So I don't deal with the gatekeepers, the PR people in showrooms. I just go into the stores and I get what I need. But that sting of not belonging from the earlier days, I still feel it. So now that I'm seeing there's this movement towards inclusivity, like plus size models on the runway and older women are getting featured in campaigns, it really makes me excited. And I feel gratitude gratified. It's like finally the doors are opening. Everybody can be fashionable. Now that I'm in my 40s, I've just entered another category that's being excluded against, so I feel even more gratified. And there's this whole crop of women. They're trailblazers. They are paving the way in the fashion world to inspire everybody who feels like they're on the fringes. And what these trailblazers, what they're showing us is that fashion is for everybody, and it's based on your self-expression and your creativity and not exclusivity. And because the runways, well, they're not relatable to everyone, I've put together a list of people who you can check out who are inspiring, and they are trailblazers, and they're showing us what's possible in the world of fashion. Because fashion, it's really just about your self-expression and your creativity and not exclusivity. Everybody can be stylish. Everybody can be fashionable. So check out this list that I've put together, because I think it's going to give you some inspiration on how to feel more confident in what you're wearing so that you can feel more fashionable in your life. And that's the video for today. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because I'll be back here next week with another video. I will see you then. Bye.